We can beat Real Madrid. I think we can beat Real Madrid. We might be able to not lose to Real Madrid. Hello? Oh, the Welsh FA. I'm assuming this is about the statue I requested. No, why not? Oh, it's not about the statue. There's been an injury with the under-21s. Why? What's happened? Oh, no, not David. Hi guys, I'm Aussie and welcome to Season 7, Episode 8 of The Impossible Dream with Bala Towns. We look to try and win the Champions League with the Welsh club, and we begin, well today I should say, we're playing Hearts Reserves in the IRN-BRU Cup. I think it's the quarterfinal we're at now, and then we are hosting Real Madrid in the Champions League, but we will be playing Real Madrid without goal-scoring hero against Lazio, David Thomas, because he has, what's he done to himself? He's pulled a calf muscle playing for Wales under-21s against San Marino, of all countries. So he's out, it's only 2 weeks, but it's enough to put him out of the Real Madrid game. So that is a big, big loss for us, because obviously he did get the goal against Lazio that got us the massive, massive win last episode. So big blow that one. Now, before we get to today's games, there are a few to catch you up on since last episode, starting with, I think it was a league game against Cardiff Met Uni. We took the lead when Dixon pounced on an all-marked knockdown and doubled our lead thanks to an own goal, before Ep8 smashed in a third before the break. Cardiff Met Uni pulled one back early in the second half, and despite being down to 10 men, pulled back a second at the death. Yeah, it was a league game, and it looked done and dusted at the half-time. Dixon with a goal, an own goal, and Ep8 with a rare goal these days. And then second half, we just didn't come out. Luckily, the second goal went in the 90th minute. They were down to 10 men at that point as well. We deserved to win. They scored with their only 2 shots on goal, but not the most convincing performance, that's for sure. Next up, we played FM20 again in the Premier League. Ryan Burke got the only goal from the spot. This was a strange one. We actually played quite well, though we only scored from the penalty spot. We couldn't score. We just couldn't finish. We couldn't score to save ourselves. Ep8 had a poor game. Davies didn't have a great one. Allmark missed more chances than I lost count, because I only have 10 fingers. So any more after that, it was pretty much done. Yeah, we deserved to win. They were down to 9 men at the end, but they were 2 very late sendings off. We should have won by more. We were comfortable. We actually played quite well. Finishing was the problem in this one. Final game to catch you up on, it's Carnarvon again in the league. We took a second half lead thanks to Rhys Williams and secured the point when Owen Casey deflected in Dixon's shot. Another decent performance this one. We were much better in the second half than the first half. Williams and Owen Casey with the goals. Again, they didn't put a shot on target. We deserved to win. We just make it a little bit hard for ourselves sometimes, not taking chances. But it is what it is. We got the 3 points. So in that sense, it's gone really well since last episode. We're 2 points clear of the New Saints with 2 games in hand. And it's definitely a 2-horse race this year, if it's even a 2-horse race. But there we go, and we can see the Champions League table there as well. We currently sit second in the group. Now, if we can take anything off Real Madrid, it's going to be a massive bonus. And ideally, Lazio and Ajax will draw each other, and that way we should not almost, but you'd imagine Real Madrid would beat Lazio final day, wouldn't you? Anyway, we're going to know a lot more about our European future at the end of this episode, but before that, we have this game up here, the quarterfinal against Hearts Reserves, or Hearts Colts, in the IRN-BRU Cup, or the Caramel Wafer Cup, as it's more deliciously known as, quarterfinal. You can see here we are the favourites this one. Now, being a reserve team, we have limited information on them. Darren Jackson is their manager. You can see there, I mean, he's a reserves manager, isn't he? Very cautious passing style is what we're expecting from them. This is the team that we're sending out. Now, bearing in mind, we have the Real Madrid game coming up. This is not our strongest team, necessarily. So it's Rima Miles in goal. It's Williams and KDH as the back 2. Grant goes down the right. Now, that's, of course, the young fullback, wingback we have on loan from Manchester United. Malone gets I think it's a first start for him. He goes down the left. And Lowry's going to go as the deep line playmaker. Dan Williams gets a rare start with Professor McGonagall in midfield. It is what's his name? Ewan Dixon as the number 10. He's not going to start against Real Madrid, because we're not going to go with the number 10 against them. And then it's Owen Casey, another one of our loanees. He goes up top with Damien Allmark, who is looking, hopefully, to become a goal-scoring extraordinaire for us. Let's go. So everybody is lining up as we were expecting them. A bit of a Rusco bus park here. Yeah, it's a tough one, this one, because like I say, we've got to be putting priority towards the Manchester United game, the Real Madrid game. Gomez has encouraged the team. Just go out there, keep the run going, boys. I mean, it's a reserves team. We should be able to beat it, but I mean, you could argue it's our reserve team as well. Now, while waiting for the game to get underway, I do have to say a big thank you to a new Patreon supporter, Vincent Mascarello. Did I say that correctly? I think I did. Massive thank you, mate. There is a link down in the description. I know it's not the best time for everybody, but if you enjoy my content and you're able to, the Patreon's there to help support the channel. And if not a problem. Just keep watching those ads for me, and that is more than enough. I should say too, this is the 100th episode of the Bala Town series. So if you... Oh, it's a penalty. There we go. Owen Casey to turn around and take it. Let's see what he can do. So if you've been with me since the beginning, first of all, thank you. Congratulations. That's hell of an effort. 100 episodes in. Casey sticks away the penalty. Excellent stuff. We're 1-0 up. And hopefully now we'll be able to go away on a little bit of a run here. We'll tell him to concentrate and hope we can go and double the lead there. But yeah, and let me know too, your favourite memory of the 100 episodes. If we're looking for a negative memory, it's got to be Backhill Benny, doesn't it? That was absolutely heartbreaking. And if I'm thinking back from my favourite positive memory, I'm going to say, David Thomas getting the winner against Lazio's up there. I think bringing up Gareth on against St. Petersburg, the miracle of St. Petersburg, of course, and he turned that around and we beat St. Petersburg in Russia. That was right up there. And Bust&Bru's hat-trick against AZ Alkmaar. I think they're sort of my three big memories, sort of on the positive side of things. Not the best half of football there, but we've essentially dominated the game. Guard against complacency, please, boys. We'll get a little bit more from Malone if we can. Alex Lowry's done quite well sitting in there. And, I mean, the goalkeeper's just done what goalkeepers do, hasn't he? Just standing there, not letting goals in, which is all we can ask of him. Here we go with a corner. Dan Williams knocks it in. It's decent. Allmark's volley was absolutely crushed and into the defender, who's probably unconscious on the ground. KDH will pick up a loose ball. Williams, there's a decent ball. There's no one there, though. McGonigal has it. McGonigal shoots, and a good save from the keeper. Decent start to the second half, though. Another corner. Dan Williams again. KDH is there. Can't quite reach it. Are we going to get caught on the break here? No, that is agricultural. Oh, that's stereotypical Scottish football there, isn't it? Just lashed into the stands. Under absolutely no pressure as well, might I add. Williams, it's another decent corner. Lowry has it. Let's get the mouse out of the way. Casey with time and space. Casey sticks it away. A nice one there from the edge of the area. 5th goal for him. Goalkeeper should hang his head in shame. That was not a great attempt. And at 2-0 against a team that we've essentially seen absolutely nothing from so far, I'd like to think that's probably job done. Time, space. It's a good finish. Goalkeeper maybe screens, but that might be a little bit generous to him. Is there anybody on the bench you want to give game time to? There's one or two, actually. Guto, Kingsley, and perhaps Stewart. Allmark has not had a great game, if we're being honest. We'll try giving him some praise, see if we can boost him up a little bit. Here we go with Malone. We might be looking at the end of Allmark after this highlight. We'll see what happens here. Malone, Dixon, back for Lowry. Lowry for Williams. They're standing next to each other. Little bit of movement, boys. Here we go with Casey. Dixon. Can Dixon know he's given the ball away there? Dixon and Allmark do have quite a good understanding, but not on that occasion. It's been absolutely lumped forward, and we might be going to find ourselves in a little bit of trouble as Hearts players get forward in the box, and it's a good finish. And just like that, it's back to 2-1, and game back on. It's been ridiculously comfortable for us, and pretty much the first highlight we've seen from them, they've caught us on the break. They did well to get forward. It's a good finish. It's a really, really good finish, but it's not the best defending we'll see, and the passing wasn't particularly good either at the other end. Allmark's playing a 6.2. Sorry, mate, we've got to call that on you. That's getting a little bit ridiculous. Let's go Kingsley as an advance forward. Ideally, I don't want to bring anybody else off the bench because, Stewart perhaps, but the other guys there, we're looking to keep them fresh for Real Madrid. Let's try a demand more, perhaps, as the highlight starts. Grant with the throw in for McGonigal. There it is for Lowry, a little bit of space at the edge of the area. That's been blocked. It's fallen again to a Hearts player. KDH goes to put pressure on, but Hearts do maintain possession. Can we get to that? Oh, we can't. We've been beaten. We've put ourselves under a little bit of pressure here, and this game just feels like it's turning, doesn't it? Out of absolutely nothing. From 2-0 down, they look like they're getting back into this. maybe we need to look to change a little bit about the way we're playing here. They're keeping possession. They're not particularly doing too much with it yet, but nature of a highlight is something's going to happen. That is what's happened there, a handball, and he's got himself sent off. Well, that is ridiculously harsh. I thought it was a push in the back, to be honest. But up against 10 men now, you'd like to think we'll be able to see this out. Here we go with Grant getting forward. Can he ball down the line? There it is for Casey. He gets there, goes past his man. Kingsley's in the middle, and Kingsley does what Allmark couldn't. Heads the ball in the back of the net. Third goal for Guto Kingsley. A really good assist there from Owen Casey, and a nice ball down the line from Grant to find him as well. That's more like it. Kingsley with 2 men on him as well. He's done really, really well there to get 3 of the defenders. And then, more than that, stick his header in the back of the net as well. So that, hopefully now, will be that. 22 shots on goal, 11 on target, just their 1, and they've scored from. It's always the way, isn't it? But this should be good enough now. We're going to find ourselves into the semi-finals of the IRN-BRU Cup. That's a horrible header from Kingsley. You put the one in that mattered, mate. That's fine. And I think we've got... It's another reserve team. I want to say Dundee reserves, but I could be wrong on that. But a comfortable win in the end, kind of as expected. And to be honest, it was, I'll say a good win. It was a decent performance with our backup players as well. So it's Dundee United reserves in the semi-final. So you'd like to think we can beat them, and that then puts us into a final against either Partick Thistle or Queen of the South. So that will be interesting. We've had a decent game there from Lowry. 7 key passes. Well done to you, sir. And that is that, guys. Wait right there. Real Madrid's next. Duffy, do we have the Welsh shirt and golf clubs to present to Gareth Bale before kick-off against Real Madrid? Hang on, mate. Hello? Oh, Connor Gosney. How you doing, mate? You're no longer concerned that Gredison is going to replace you. Well, that's excellent news, mate, considering Gredison left the club 3 months ago. Okay, welcome back. Now, before we get to Real Madrid, a few things to catch you up on. First of all, Connor Gosney is no longer concerned that Gredison's going to replace him, which is good because Gredison hasn't been in the club for a little while now. So that's, as long as he's happy, to be honest. As long as he's happy, hopefully he'll start putting in a few better performances. Now, not that he's been playing badly, but it's always, we can offer him a new contract now if we need to. That sort of thing is always good. But the big news is, look at this. We've only gone and beaten Real Madrid under-19s in Madrid. Venables and the under-19s just continue to do absolute bits in the Champions League, the Youth Champions League. Again, we put a strong team out, KDH. A lot of the first team squad members went back to play this one. But, it's always a good thing to beat Real Madrid. Look at that, we've qualified from the group as well. So, who knows, maybe we can go on and win Youth League glory, if not senior team glory this particular season. But let's go and have a look at what we're doing here against Real Madrid. We are not the favourites, as you would not expect us to be. Potter's been giving it the big ones in the media again about how it's going to be an easy game for him. There's no need for that, really. But, he's a good manager in charge of very good players, an attacking standard playing style. And to be honest, the way they play doesn't really matter because it's a little bit of a bus park situation for us. But we'll try and have a threat. We are expecting them to come out in the 4-2-3-1 formation there. You can see they beat Athletic Bilbao 4-0 their most recent game. We can see there they do push high up the pitch. Passing network is there and their key passes. This is the team we're sending out. It's essentially the best team we have available to us right now to play in this particular formation. It's basically the same way we played against Lazio, just obviously without Duffy Thomas. So Miles continues in goal. It's Burke, Swifty, Gosney, and Sears as the back four. Topley continues in his deep line playmaker role here. He's done a really good job in there. No need to change it. Sam York comes in to play with Ryan Murphy in midfield. Connolly replaces Duffy Thomas out on the right. It's Maurice on the left. It's Ferguson up top. Let's go. So everybody is playing as expected, which is good. Now, one thing I did actually mean to show you before we came in here, if we go to updates, we can see the league table. The early kickoff game was Lazio and Ajax. Now, Lazio beat Ajax. It was 1-0, I believe. The score doesn't particularly matter. Now, now obviously we'd be on 5 points before coming into the game. It's given us an extra point because we're currently tied before kickoff. That's a good result in terms of us getting out of the group. Because if we take 1 point off of, in our last 2 games against Madrid or Ajax, and Real Madrid beat Lazio, then we're guaranteed of getting out of the group, which is stunning. Where it's a poor result is actually staying in Europe. Because what could happen is that Lazio could take something off Real Madrid. We could lose to Ajax and then suddenly find ourselves bottom of the group. So it's a little bit of an all-or-nothing scenario right now. If we take a point, we're out of the group, assuming that Real Madrid go and beat Lazio. But if we don't take anything here, we could find ourselves bundled out of Europe altogether. What do we want to say here? Go out there and prove a point. It's just got to be we've got nothing to lose here. Show them what we're capable of. Some calm, we have faith. And yeah, I mean, it's Real Madrid. We're Bala town. And here we go. It's essentially a sellout for the non-terrace part of the stadium. 5,000 Bala fans, 5,000 Real Madrid fans. Well, Welsh fans, let's be honest. They're not all going to be Bala town fans, are they? Let's hope that we don't concede a goal from the first highlight, shall we say. Yeah, I mean, it's one of these now where as longer we can keep it to 0-0, obviously the better. I mean, we're playing against like Kai Havertz, Rodrigo's gone straight past Sears there, and that is, unfortunately for us, all a little bit too simple, wasn't it? What do we say? What do we say? We can't say anything yet anyway. It was it Sears? Who's that? He just went past Sears a little bit too easily. It's a cracking finish. And it's just a little bit of a reality check into exactly the difference between, say, a Lazio and an Ajax, and then that very, very top level in a Real Madrid. We're looking nervous. Don't be nervous, boys. Come on. Let's defend a set piece first here. Lashed in. I'm going to say Riemann Wild had it covered. Let's go with that. We'll demand a little bit more. If we can keep it to 1-0, you just never know what could happen towards the end. Let's give them a concentrate. We're looking very, very nervous out here. Maybe I've given them the wrong team talk. But I tell you what, as long as we can keep it to 1-0, I mean, goal difference is unlikely to make a difference in any case. But yeah, 1-0's fine. 1-0's fine. That keeps us in the game for now. Let's say, what if we try a little bit of passion, dig in? Let's try that. I don't really, I mean, we're not playing particularly well. I don't necessarily see the sense in telling them as a team, you've done poorly. Because as a team, we've actually done not too bad. We've stressed out Burke. Someone was going to get stressed out with telling nervous players that they're not good enough. But ideally, we need sort of more individually, and then a little bit, yeah, I mean, just keep it. The team, as I said, the teamwork is fine because we're not doing too badly. Let's a little bit more from Ferguson. I'm wondering, do we maybe just look to go a little bit more direct, perhaps? Maybe take it off, work ball into the box, and just kind of see where that takes us. It's one of these, isn't it? I mean, it's always going to be tough. If we can get ourselves a chance, if we can get ourselves a highlight, that would be just wonderful, wouldn't it? There's a decent early ball there from Maurice. Can he pick out Ferguson in the middle? He goes into Ferguson. Oh, it's a stunning chance, and Ruben Ferguson has put it past the post. I tell you what, it was decent, wasn't it? I think I've hit push forward there. I mean, it doesn't particularly matter. We should encourage our players to play shorter passing. Demand more. I mean, Connolly's not having a great game out there. We do have Ep8 on the bench. Let's get him on. I think it's just a little bit too big of a step up for Callum Connolly at this stage of his career. But we know Ep8 is a big game player. On the 100th episode, how appropriate would it be, I should say, for him to pop up with a goal here for us? Ferguson flicks it on to nobody. And Real Madrid come forward again. There's a good ball, good run as well. And again, the finish is a little bit wayward. 15 minutes to go. Are we getting into the let's have a go at this stage? I think we probably are, aren't we? All right, so let's have a go at it. It doesn't particularly matter, really. I mean, if we lose 1 or 2-0, it's not going to make too much difference in the grand scheme of things. Let's get him up there as an advanced forward now. Let's be more expressive. Let's just raise the tempo, maybe pull back the distance of the passing a little bit. That's all fine. Let's try and close them down. Let's really, really have a go at them for 10 minutes here and hope that we don't get pulled to shreds. Which is obviously a very good chance that could happen. But yeah, I mean, you only live once, don't you? Let's go attacking. Let's get creative and let's see what we can do. We've got a corner to defend. Always been our problem, and that's gone just over the bar. They're missing a few chances. They're keeping us in the game. Is there a late moment of heroics for Bala Town? I tell you what, 1-0 against Real Madrid is not the worst. And we will go into the final game of the group stage. Second in the group, we'll say unlucky. And knowing that a draw against Ajax will be enough to at least keep us in Europe. If not get us out of the group. We want Real Madrid now to go on and beat Lazio. And if that's the case, as I say, all we would need to do is avoid defeat against Ajax. Because if they win, they're going to have the head-to-head against us. Because we drew 0-0, didn't we, at our place, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, look... It's such a shame about that first game. Lots of 0-0s and 1-0s there. We've only scored 1 goal in the group, and yeah, here we are. We find ourselves second in the group, and another 0-0 draw, in all likelihood, will get us out of the group. But there we go. That's it for today, though, guys. If you have enjoyed that, please do hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and we will be back next time for that conclusion of the group. We've got Penny Bont in the Welsh League Cup third round, so we'll play that as a warm-up then for Ajax away. If Real Madrid can do us a favour, if we don't concede a goal, we're going out of the group stage. We're into the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Take care.